The photo should not have existed. Not here. Not in this mansion. Not in the home of a man she had never met. But there it was, framed, dusted, and proudly displayed in the hallway just outside the dining room. It was the same photo she remembered from foster care: her missing front tooth, the oversized purple sweater, the toy rabbit she clutched like it was the only thing she owned. It was unmistakable. Her knees weakened, her throat tightened, and in that moment, a question screamed in her mind. Why does this stranger have a photo of me as a child? Janelle had taken the catering job for extra cash. Her job at the diner barely covered rent, and with her car one bad day from quitting on her, she could not say no to the weekend gig in the city's richest neighborhood. The estate was massive: marble floors, gold trim, and art she had only seen in magazines. She was careful not to stare. Rich folks did not like that. But when she went to set the appetizer tray near the foyer, she caught a glimpse of a photo that stopped her breath. It was her. It was not just similar, it was her. She looked around. No one was watching. Slowly, carefully, she stepped toward the wall, her hands trembling. Her fingers grazed the glass. She had not seen that image in over 20 years. The original had been lost in one of her many foster home moves. How could this be real? What kind of man would frame a photo of a girl he never knew? Unless he did know her. A voice interrupted her thoughts. "You all right, miss?" It was the butler, older, polite, and observant. She backed away from the frame. "Just admiring the home, sir," she managed to say. He nodded but lingered, his eyes flicking from her to the photo and back again. Then a long pause. "You look like someone I used to know," he said quietly. "You should talk to Mr. Langston before you leave tonight." Mr. Langston, the millionaire, the man who owned this house. Her shift dragged on painfully. Every second felt like thunder. She kept staring down the hallway, her heart pounding every time footsteps approached. Who was this man? And why did he have a piece of her past hanging like it mattered? By the time the guests had finished their dinner, Janelle's nerves were frayed. She had spilled a drink, forgotten a napkin, and bumped into a chair. Three things she never did on the job. She kept replaying the butler's words in her mind. "You should talk to Mr. Langston." But how? She was just staff. Invisible. Unimportant. She had grown up learning that people like her were easy to overlook. That picture on the wall said otherwise. But it also scared her. What if this man knew something she had tried to forget? When the last guest left and the team began to clean up, Janelle tried to slip away unnoticed. But just as she reached the front door, the butler appeared again. "Miss Janelle?" he said gently. "Mr. Langston would like a word." Her hands went cold. "Yes, sir," she whispered. She was led through a library lined with books so old they looked like they belonged in a museum. At the far end, a man stood by the fireplace. His posture was straight, his suit too perfect. He turned around slowly, and for a moment, Janelle forgot how to breathe. "Your name is Janelle, correct?" he asked. His voice was low, calm, but not cold. She nodded. He walked to his desk and opened a drawer. Then he held up a second photograph, one she had never seen before. It was her again, younger, even smaller, sitting on someone's lap. "That is you," he said. "And this was my daughter." Janelle stared at the photo, her vision blurring. "I do not understand," she said. Mr. Langston nodded. "I would not expect you to. She was a teenager when she had you. She was not ready. She made a difficult choice." The room spun. Janelle reached for the edge of the chair. "You are saying, I?" "Yes," he said. "You are my granddaughter." The silence was deafening. All the questions she had buried for years came crashing forward. Why was I left? Why did no one come for me? Why now? She tried to speak, But nothing came out. Mr. Langston's eyes were glassy. I only learned of you recently. My daughter, she passed 2 years ago. In her final letter, she told me about you. I have been searching ever since. Janelle's chest ached. She had spent a lifetime believing she had no family. And now, suddenly, she was standing in front of the grandfather she never knew she had. Janelle sat frozen in the grand chair, the weight of what she had just learned crashing down on her like a tidal wave. Her grandfather, someone she had never dared to imagine, had been searching for her all these years. A storm of emotions swirled inside her chest: confusion, hurt, anger, and beneath it all, a fragile, flickering hope she had almost forgotten. Mr. Langston's voice softened as he spoke about his daughter, her mother, painting a picture of a woman torn apart by fear and love. She never stopped thinking about you, he said, his eyes glistening, even when life pushed her to the edge. The raw tenderness in his words cracked open a part of Janelle's heart she had long locked away. For the first time, the heavy silence of loneliness began to break. She was not just a waitress, not just another face in the crowd. She was family. Blood ran through her veins, connected to a past she had never known. Yet, the unanswered questions gnawed at her soul. Why had she been left alone? Why had no one told her? Tears welled in her eyes. But when she looked into Mr. Langston's steady gaze, something shifted. I want to know everything, she whispered, her voice trembling, but determined. I need to understand who I really am. He nodded, his face filled with both sorrow and hope. I will tell you everything, and together we will find a way forward. That night, as she walked back to her small apartment, Janelle felt a strange new feeling stirring inside her, a mix of fear and excitement. Her life was no longer the same. The past she thought was lost had found her, and the future? It suddenly held promise, something she had not dared to dream of before. The days that followed were filled with stories, tears, and the slow but steady mending of a broken past. Mr. Langston welcomed Janelle into his life with open arms, sharing memories of her mother, stories filled with love, sacrifice, and hope. Each word helped Janelle piece together the family she never knew she had, turning pain into something beautiful. For years, she had carried the heavy burden of loneliness and rejection. But now, surrounded by kindness and acceptance, something inside her began to change. She was no longer just a waitress trying to get by. She was a granddaughter with roots, a family, and a future full of promise. Her confidence grew each day. The woman who once doubted her worth found strength in her new beginning. The framed photo in that grand mansion was no longer just an image. It was a symbol of resilience, healing, and the power of second chances. Standing in the very hallway where she first saw that photo, Janelle smiled quietly, feeling a peace she had never known before. Life had taken her on a journey she never imagined, through hardship and heartache, all the way to a place she could finally call home. If Janelle's story touched your heart, please consider subscribing to our channel. We share real stories that remind us how hope and love can change lives. Thank you for being here and listening.